Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wine and Wellness Wednesday. I'm Lindsay Brantley, the founder of Camellia Alise Academy, and I am super excited to be here with you guys as I am every week. So first and foremost, before we jump into today's topic, I hope you guys have your wine. So I want to toast to you for making it through Hump Day. All right. And also, just want to highlight really quick before I get into the topic that for the rest of the month, y'all are going to see me wearing a lot of teal. For those of you guys who don't know, I started my skincare business before the academy, and I started it because I have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and this is PCOS Awareness Month. It also typically, coincidentally, has the color teal as the color for the month. And as you can see, teal is also my favorite color, down to the little Keurig. Everything is teal, all right? So I just wanted to highlight that it is PCOS Awareness Month. If you guys want to learn more about PCOS or my journey, you can go to the @Camellia Alise page to see those live videos. All right, so I want to jump right into this one. Hope y'all got your wine. Okay, so this week's topic is going to be on treatment plans and real results, okay? So I get a lot of questions about this all the time from students, from people watching. It's like, okay, well, how do I know if this works? Does it really work? You know, everything that we teach, if done properly, you can achieve real results. But you have to know what you are doing, okay? Every single treatment should have a measurable result, y'all. And if you have taken a class and no one showed you what you needed to do to prove to yourself and your client that the treatment is working, it wasn't an effective class. For instance, body wraps. Why do we do body wraps and infrared services? It's to burn body fat. Okay, well, how can I show my client that that's working? Obviously, you're going to do pictures, but if I'm just sweating, that's not really going to just show 3 inches lost, right? So with body wraps, I'm going to do measurements, or I'm going to do a body fat analysis. You should know how to do that. If you came out of class, you know how to do a body fat analysis. But anyway, that's how you get the results. Even our yoni steam class, guys, for the yoni steam class, I teach you guys how to check your client's pH balance, show your clients that what they're doing with the yoni steam actually is working, okay? So there is no service that you should be doing as a sculpting specialist that you are not tracking results. Even our detoxes where we go over, okay, water should be lighter here, darker there, So you should be doing you should be getting photo evidence, measurable evidence, body fat analysis, pH balance. Every single service that you are doing, there should be a way to track the results, and that is something you should be taught as part of the curriculum. A lot of times y'all take these classes where they're just using these laser lipo pads, and then you go in and you say, okay, well, how do I know that it works? Or I didn't see a difference with my client. Well, it's because laser lipo pads aren't as effective as some of the other things, first of all. But secondly, even if your teachers are just teaching you how to do laser lipo pads, they should still be teaching you what to look for and how to show your client that is working. Part of the reason that we have been so successful over the past, 5 years we'll be in business, 11 years that I've been in this industry. Part of the reason that I have been so successful is because I'm not just selling snake oil to my clients. I am proving to them that they're getting results. If you're not proving to your clients that it's working, they're not going to keep coming back to you, right? So there's a million different ways. Every service you should be tracking results. In addition to that, if you are tracking results by photos, which that's not the only way, okay, and depending on the service, it shouldn't be the only way. But if you are tracking your clients' results by photos, then accuracy is key. Your client should be in a consistent position. I talked about this a couple videos before, but I always say it's not even that your results are bad, but sometimes your photos just suck, okay? So your teacher should be explaining to you positioning, what you should be doing to accurately track the results as well. I'm saying all this because I've had so many students in the past month call us who have had these crappy classes. They have to come back to us for refreshers. And then there's just so many things that I'm trying to teach you in one day that it's mind blowing. So these are some of the things you should be asking before you take any class. Like, do you go over measurements? Do you go over this for this service? How do I prove to my clients that this is real? And your teacher should have an answer. If they don't know what the hell you're talking about, that's the wrong class for you. All right, so that's just a quick tip on picking your class. Other things, like I said, accuracy matters, also consistency. Your clients can't achieve good results if they're not coming in for consistent services, no matter what service they are doing. So you have to explain to your clients accountability. You need to explain to them coming in regularly. It's not a one-stop shop. If you come in one time, this is not liposuction, right? You're not going to lose 6 inches in one service. You have to explain all of that to them before you get started. So it's very easy. Let me just say that it is very easy to achieve real results as long as you know what you're doing and you know how to track the real results. Okay, so don't be going to these classes where you're lost. The instructor can't answer your questions. If they couldn't answer your questions before you came to the class, or no one is answering the phone when you're trying to enroll in a class, those are red flags, guys. Be smart about how you're investing your money and where you're investing your money, because the last thing you want to do is spend $2,500 on a class that's an hour long. We had someone call us, $2,500 for a class that was 1 hour long. They learned nothing and then had to come back to us for a refresher course. That's not fair to you, but also you have to use wisdom when you're going into these classes, okay? So that's what I wanted to say about real results. There are real results to be achieved in every single service that you do, and you should know how to track those results and what you should be doing for accuracy as well. And then, of course, you need to know, depending on the service, what you should be doing to track those results, okay? So, hope that helps with the results. Now, let's talk about treatment plans, because this is something that I get a lot of questions on as well. I have a lot of students that are like, okay, well, how do I know this service over that service or this over that? Let me first just say that if you have knowledge on what each service does, it's not okay and it's not enough to just say, oh, well, if I press this mode and I press this power, this is how I do cavitation. But why are you doing cavitation? What is happening to the body? I go back to the infrared wraps. If you didn't know that the reason we do infrared is to burn body fat, burn calories, and to help your clients lose weight, that's not really an inch loss treatment, then you didn't learn properly, okay? So you need to know what services are for inch loss, what services are for losing weight, what services are to add volume to your clients. You know, of course, if someone comes in and they want fillers, it's because they want more volume in certain areas. Hyaluronic pin in the lips, more volume in that area. You know, so the first thing, when you are trying to put together a treatment plan for your client, you have to listen to the client. What do they want? What does the client want? And that's where consultation comes in, and the consultation is very important. Okay, so as part of the class, we give you the consultation forms. We go over all that. But listen to your client. If they're trying to lose weight, that's one thing. If they're trying to lose inches, that's another thing. If they're trying to get rid of cellulite, that's another thing. If they're trying to do everything at once, what combinations can you put together to give your clients the most benefits? Okay, so first and foremost, listen to your client. Okay, because you need to know what it is they're trying to achieve in order to put together a treatment plan. A client that wants cellulite elimination, that's all that they want, is going to be different from a client who's like, I need to lose 10 pounds. Who's going to be different from the client that's like, hey, I'm trying to get into this wedding dress. Okay, so depending on what the client wants, is going to be a different service. So that's first. I definitely wanted to say that. The other thing, along with the treatment plans, nothing is cookie cutter, guys. Nothing is cookie cutter. I cannot look at 5 clients and say, oh, y'all all just need CVR. That is not how it works. No 2 people are the same. No 2 people's bodies are the same. The way that we lose fat, the way that we lose weight, it's not going to be the same. So you can't just try to put all your clients into one box. You have to trust your instincts, trust your knowledge base, and then formulate what's best for your clients, which once again comes in with listening to your clients. You need to know if a client wants cellulite, they need cellulite reduction, they need this treatment. If a client wants to lose weight, this one. If a client wants inch loss, this one. If a client is specifically trying to fit into this outfit and do A, B, and C, something different. So you have to listen to them, take your knowledge base, and then make sure that you take that and create different plans for different clients. That is one of the reasons, guys, that we do, like if you talk to my staff, they'll tell you, hey, learning one service at a time is great, but learning from the spa boot camp or multiple different services can also help you in the long run, because those services help clients to achieve results faster and they work together to achieve different things. So having 2 or 3 skills behind you instead of just one does make a difference when you're talking about clients achieving results, okay? But everybody is different. So a lot of my students, they're just like, hey, I just want to learn one thing at a time, get really good at this, and then add the rest on. That's perfectly fine too, all right? But more than anything, use your instincts. Trust your instincts. Trust that if you have gotten a good education foundation, you understand why these things are to be done, how often certain things are supposed to be done, then use that knowledge to put together treatment plans for your clients, okay? Another thing, use wisdom. If you and that goes along with trusting your instincts as well. If you have a client that, let's just say, I talked about before who can and can't have certain services. Let's say you have a client that has a pacemaker, and that client is like, listen, I know I have this, but I really want this service. You know better. You know better, right? So use wisdom. Use wisdom when you're putting together treatment plans and trying to help your clients achieve results. If your client wants to come in 3 days in a row for a service that you know you're only supposed to give once a week, say no. Use wisdom and follow your instincts and say, you know what, this doesn't seem right. I will tell you that at least 45% of the students who come into our class are people who have received services from someone else and knew something was wrong, so they decided to go to class for themselves. That's people using wisdom, okay? If you have a client that comes to you and you're like, okay, you asking for 3 things that I don't think you necessarily need, give them your recommendation. You're supposed to be the expert, right? So make sure that you're putting together treatment plans that make sense. Don't put together a whole bunch of crap just because you want to charge your client a bunch of money. Well, at the end of the day, if they're not receiving a treatment plan that's going to work and yield real results, your clients will not keep coming back to you. So use wisdom when you're putting together treatment plans, and know and understand that just like business, you might in the beginning say, I want to have this body sculpting business, and later you say, okay, well maybe I can do body sculpting and nutrition plan. Just how you kind of have to change things and adapt to things in your business, you have to adapt to things in a treatment plan as well. Let's say I do 3 of one treatment and my client kind of plateaus. Okay, the first time they lost 1 inch. Second time they lost 1 inch. Third time they did the exact same thing, but they didn't lose anything. Then I'm going to have to go back and ask some more questions. What did you do differently? Let's talk about that. And maybe I need to tweak their treatment plan a little bit. That's why I say nothing is cookie cutter. You have to try different things. When I started in this industry 11 years ago, you know how I figured out my treatment plans and all the information that I'm teaching y'all? Trial and error. There was no book. There was no one for me to ask questions to. Now there is, right? Now we're building communities. Now we're sharing wisdom. I didn't have that. I did trial and error and figured it out until I found what worked, what didn't work, so I could say, don't do this, definitely do that. You know, but even with yourself, you can't expect that you're going to go to class and learn everything. You got to go out there, try a couple things, and tweak your treatment plans as needed. Guys, as I talk, if y'all have any questions, because I know that some of y'all are, you know, joining and you know, listening to me. If y'all have questions on the topics, please, you know, keep the questions coming. Someone said, When you started, did you practice on someone to become good? Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell my students that as well. You don't just go out there a week later and say, let me start charging $300 a session. You don't know what the hell you're doing. Your confidence is not up. You can make a mistake, drop a roll when you're trying to rap and completely freak out. No, start with people that you know, love, and trust. Now, when we go through branding and marketing as part of the class, I kind of give y'all limitations on that. But absolutely, you want to practice with people that you know first, get comfortable, and then launch with strangers that you're charging money to. It's not good to just walk out of class and be like, all right, I'm gonna start charging people $200-$300. No, you kind of have to get your confidence up first. Miss Aesthetic Boutique said, just wanted to say hello, say thank you for everything. You're welcome. I enjoy what I do, y'all. I love being here with y'all every week. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to say to you guys when you're developing treatment plans, and some of y'all are doing it right now by asking questions, I always say, ask questions, okay? As part of our program, we don't expect that you're going to get it all in one day. That's why we do post-class refresher one-on-one with your instructor. That's why we have the alumni group. So what I say is ask questions to your instructors, but you can't just take a class and then start calling them every day or asking them to consult on every client, right? That's not going to work. But you can do whatever groups you're in, ask different people questions. You should be community building, okay? So, when you're new at anything, you should be asking questions so that you get better at what you're doing. You're not expected to know everything 100%. But let me tell you this, for everybody who is under the sound of my voice, let me tell you the one thing that does piss me off when I'm over here talking to y'all right now, and I'm saying ask questions. Absolutely, ask questions. People like me are here to answer questions for you, but what I'm not going to do is have somebody that's out here teaching people and they don't know what the hell they're doing, and then they come in my DMs asking me for answers. That I'm not going to do. Please do not teach when you are not ready to teach, okay? I will answer questions. I will help people become the best sculpting specialist, and hell, I train instructors. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I can't give you my information. This is all mine. Absolutely not. I train instructors. But what I don't like is someone that's out there taking $2,500, $1,800, $1,000 from somebody else, and they don't know what they're doing, and then they're coming to me asking me for questions. At this point, it's too late. You guys need to make sure that you crawl before you walk, okay? So don't teach someone if you're not confident in your own skills. Definitely get in communities, ask questions, practice on people you love, get a couple of different treatment plans together, okay? Know what you're doing, have an idea, have your confidence built up, and then when you are ready, then go teach. We don't allow anyone in our instructors program until you've had a year of actual doing, because there's no way that you can teach someone. If someone says, hey, I had a client that ABC happened to, has this ever happened to you? What would you recommend? How can you answer that for a student if you yourself have absolutely never touched a machine, never touched a client? Like, it's not cool. I have 11 years of experience here. I did not start this 6 months ago, okay? So even for our community, I tell students all the time, you have lifetime access to that community with the exception of your school launch. Once you launch your school, you should actually be building a community where your students are asking you questions. At that point, you don't need me, because it's our job to help y'all crawl until you walk and help you walk until you run. Once you running, once you teaching people, you shouldn't need me anymore, okay? So that I will just say, based on a couple of things that have happened this week, I did want to say that, because it's not fair that you're taking all of these people's money and you have no idea what you're doing. You've been doing this 1 month, 2 months, you're just guessing, and then that person walks out with no recourse. That's not fair. So please, guys, use wisdom as well when you're building your communities. and crawl before you walk. If you are not ready to teach, don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Like I said, I was doing services for 5 years, almost 6 years, doing my services, getting everything together, making sure I knew all these different technologies before I touched a classroom. That was me. Now understanding that the learning curve doesn't have to be that strong. Mind you, this was 2010, right, when nobody was doing this. The learning curve, it may not take you that long. Like I said, my other instructors right now, they have at least 2 to 3 years in the industry. That, like, if you are carrying my name, you know, they're nurses, they're licensed estheticians, licensed massage therapists who have been doing these things for minimum 2 years before they say, okay, now I'm ready to teach. But like I said, if you have a year's experience and you have the criteria needed, we'll definitely accept you into the program. You know, of course, with some limitations, you guys can apply for all that. But if, like I said, if you are new to the industry and you are trying to create a treatment plan, ask questions. I'll tell you, in our alumni group all the time, they post, you know, clients, and they're like, hey guys, I did ABC. This worked for the first 3 sessions. Now I'm doing this. What do you guys think? Does this work well? Does it not work well? That's part of our community. I build that, and it's not a problem. I'm also still in some Facebook groups where people ask me questions, or I may comment on the same thing. Some public groups where people post their results and say, here's what worked for me. Let's share some knowledge. I'm in some of those groups as well. Because it's just good. It's just good to have a free-flowing knowledge base that you are learning from to make yourself better, you know? So, just to kind of wrap things up for you guys really quickly, I just talked about real results, making sure that you are doing what you need to do to show your clients. Don't just tell them they're doing great. Show them real results in order to have them coming back to you. In every single service that you perform, there is a way to track results. You should be learning that in your class. And if you're not learning it in your class, you need to be asking them before you even take a class. You need to ask them what they're going to teach you. Are you going to teach me measurements? Are you going to teach me body fat analysis? Are you going to teach me how to do pH balance for yoni steam? You know, there's just different ways. So real results, there's a way to track results for sure. All right. And then the second thing, when it comes to treatment plans, I just talked to you guys about, you know, listening to your clients, understanding what it is they're really trying to achieve so that you can put together a recommendation. In addition to that, no treatment plan is cookie cutter. Every client is going to be slightly different. So you need to listen to your client, talk to your client, constantly gauge what their results are so that you know how to change things little by little. And then lastly, like I said, use your wisdom and instincts when you are coming up with treatment plans, and then ask questions. Ask questions to some of your clients to understand, hey, you know, what exactly are we really trying to achieve? Ask questions to your instructors through, you know, message boards or whatever ways you guys have available to you when it comes to treatment plans. So I have one question that's coming in that I'm going to answer, but for all of you guys that are listening, now is the time to ask if y'all have any other questions on the subject. I'm going to disconnect in a couple minutes, but y'all go ahead and throw your questions in if y'all have some right now. And don't make fun of me, but you know I ain't got my glasses yet, so I can't read. So hold on. This says, hey, sharing on my page. Oh, thank you. Oh, she's just letting us know that she's sharing on her page. But if you guys have any questions on treatment plans, real results, like I said, send me the comments, and we'll just keep going from there, y'all. And we'll talk a little bit more about achieving results, you know, as we go along. And next week, I'm going to talk about some business branding things as well. Next week, when I talk to you guys, I will not be in the spa. I will be in Seattle, because our class in Seattle is next Thursday. So I will be flying to Seattle next Wednesday. So you guys, for sure, you know, y'all see a different change of scenery. I have never, all the places that I've been to teach, I've never been to Seattle. So I am super, super excited, you guys. All right, so let me see one more. What should your pH balance be for steam? So your vaginal area should actually be balanced. So around 4.5 for the pH scale is normal. And then when we go through class, I give you guys like what the other ranges are, how to test it to see like what's going on. Is your client more towards BV or bacterial vaginosis, more towards yeast? You know, what exactly do you want to do? For those of you guys who are asking about Seattle, I believe that we have maybe max 2 spaces left. We are teaching in Seattle. It is a 1-day class next Thursday. So if you are still interested, click the link in the bio so that you guys can get the details on Seattle. I think we do still have 1 or 2 spots left. And then after Seattle is New York. And New York, I think we've already reached our max, but New York, y'all can call and ask us about that. But for sure, Seattle is a week away, so now is the time to get in. All right. And then let's see, what do I have here? A couple different questions. Should we be posting pictures after the results because I found that results are not instant? That is a great question. So first of all, that depends on what services you are doing, because some of the results are instant, but we a lot of times like to have our clients take pictures 2 to 3 days later as well. So maybe, let's just say as an example, you lose ½ an inch the day of your service, but if you wait 2 to 3 days later and I have you measure or take another picture, you'll see that the results actually have increased within those 2 to 3 days. So it's just, I always do instant, obviously, because 3 days from now, the client's not going to be there with me. So I'm going to track, what we have as far as the results. But then I'm going to make sure that they send me their results a couple days later as well. All right, so now y'all hit me with questions. So hold on. How do you treat a skin fold after liposuction, most likely from a faja? I'm not going to go into specifics on that treatment plan right now. I already went over what should your treatment plan be. And congratulations on, okay, I already went over what your pH should be, and then I got another congratulations on Seattle. Thank you. All right, so then we got a couple more questions. Y'all know that I have multiple platforms going live at the same time. So give me 2 seconds. How should you determine your package pricing? Okay, that's something that we go over in class. If you are a student, then you should be in the alumni group because we do videos on that all the time. And we go over marketing specifics on what, pricing should be in class. So that's not something I'm going to answer right now because every package is different. So there's a lot of different things for that. All right. Then someone said, I'm in Seattle. I want to come to class. Well, come, girl. We'd love to have you. Okay. I have someone that says, I have a client and she was seeing results. Then she came back for the 4th session and it's like she was what? Oh, she was bloated. Well, let me just say that depending on where your client is, that happens for sure. I mean, we all have cycles, right? So your body holds more water during that time. If a person is heavy on the salt, their body may be retaining fluid as well. So there's a lot of reasons that clients bloat. That's when it comes to the treatment plans. That's where you kind of have to ask clients questions and understand, okay, what's going on with your body? What did you do differently? Because I may need to tweak your results, but it could also be because it's that time of the month, or maybe you're a day off of it. So maybe we need to schedule that appointment for another time. So that kind of stuff happens all the time. But in class, we do kind of discuss how to get the clients over the plateau. That's something that we discuss normally in the alumni group if people ask, okay? Do you recommend the belly pad or the 360 pad to get results? I don't use those. No, I use specific materials because I know that those materials help our clients to get the best results. So I don't add a lot of extra stuff in if I don't find it to be effective. And I am definitely the person that does testing on everything. For those of you guys who may or may not have seen the post, we just posted for Labor Day that we now have 3 cavitation machines. Each one of those machines I tested for over 6 months before I brought them to you guys to sell. I do not play with oh, let me just get this new trending thing, because if I'm not seeing results, then there's no point in me offering that to you. That's why I don't do 6-in-1 machines with lipo pads, but I do discuss that a little bit more in class as well. All right, what other questions do we have? Does diet contribute to the results? Absolutely, absolutely. We do a lot. Let me say that. In class, we do a lot to talk about pre and post instructions and accountability. The client who oh my gosh, I talk about that a lot, but even the client who comes in and they're like, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds, but then they go to happy hour after, you're not going to get the best results. Or the client who does a service and then they come in after and then they go and eat a cheeseburger. What kind of results do you think you're going to see? Not very many. Okay, so diet matters. We hold our clients accountable. We talk about that. There are certain clients who in the beginning are ineligible for treatments because of size. So we talk about, okay, what do I need to ask you? What do I need to tell you if you're on the larger side? And it's not to say that you can't have the treatments, but there are a couple things you need to do before you have them. So that's all stuff that we discuss in depth in class. All right. Okay, guys, y'all did great tonight. Y'all asked me some good questions, and I hope that this kind of gave you a little bit of insight on how to put those treatment plans together and what you really need to be doing to achieve real results. I have started posting more. Well, not me, y'all. If you know me, I'm not the active one on social media. I come on here once a week to talk to you guys, give y'all the information, but most of the time, if y'all are DMing, my staff is taking care of that. They're the ones that are posting. So when it comes to like before and afters, I just don't like to fill up a social media page full of before and afters. I want to give y'all business tips, self-care tips, so that you're a well-rounded entrepreneur. So I do post before and afters on my page, but I don't just post a whole lot of that, because there's more to running your business and running the academy than just showing before and afters. So there are some before and afters on my page, and I'm gonna get better about posting more, making them post more. But right now, I want it, like I said, to be well-rounded. I want to help y'all with taking care of yourself as an entrepreneur. I want to help you with business tips, building your business, and I want to show you guys results. So our pages try to be more well-rounded. All right. Okay, guys. I thank you guys so much for joining us today, and I hope that y'all got something out of it. Like I said, I love what I do. I love answering y'all's questions. So if there's some topics that y'all want to talk about next week, let me know. Like I said, next week I'm gonna still have my wine for sure, and I'm going to be in Seattle. So for those of y'all who are in Seattle, if you want to take a class, y'all got a couple days left and a few spots left where you can go ahead and enroll. But if not, y'all will see me at a different scenery. I will not be at the spa next week. All right. So as I do every week, I begin and end with a toast. So toast to you guys for making it through hump day. Although this was a shorter week, so hopefully the week hadn't been too bad. Y'all should have all gotten an extra day off, for most of us, right? So I will talk to you guys soon, and y'all have an amazing evening. I will see you next week. Bye.